The official podcast, episode
49, baby.
Oh, I thought we were at 280 something. Nice, fuck yeah. We're cruising.
Yeah, 1 week away from
5-year
250.
anniversary coming up.
Yippee.
Right.
Who cares?
Yeah.
No one, I guess. Just me.
Yeah, are we
Jackson,
doing any?
you have
well,
a topic.
I do,
we-
but first,
well-
are we doing anything for our 5-year anniversary, or is it?
I'm
Okay,
open
we're-
to suggestions.
Taking the week off, our first break.
We're ending the show. So this is a topic near and dear to my heart. I've been following it over the last week. Do you guys like D&D? First of all,
Nerd.
What a fucking
Dork.
nerd.
hey, I don't like it either. It's, apparently, it's also full
Having
of
said that, Jackson, I very much enjoy D&D, yes.
D&D's fun as fuck.
It's very cool.
Well, you'll be very sad to know that leading man Arcadum in the D&D verse has been outed as an abusive piece of shit, really. A pathetic piece of shit that manipulated over 10 women into sexual scenarios in VR, which is a weird sentence, but apparently that exists.
I think we should add the disclaimer that everything that we're about to tell you guys took place in VR chat, not in real life.
Not everything.
Not everything.
There was
really?
there was one situation
Okay, I've been misled.
that transcended
My
into
bad.
the real world. They took off the VR helmets and it materialized in the real world. Sadly, I guess
Okay.
that one's alleged. I guess, but at this point, there's so much proof here that I feel like I can just trust any claim that comes out about him, because you've seen the messages from this man, and they're just awful, really pathetic
Give
stuff.
us a rundown. Give us an outline of what just happened.
Am I the only one fluent in this?
I've only looked up a
This is
little
your
of it.
native language, Jackson.
Yeah, I just want to know.
I mean, you know, I tried to get caught up, but I think you'll be in a better position to outline it.
Well, basically, at the start of the week, about 6 days ago, a whole bunch of women, about 10 of them, collaborated on this massive Twitter thread where they outlined their abusive stories with Arcadum. Like, they recounted their
Literally
stories.
a dozen women, by the way. I think
yeah,
it's
it was
actually
over
even
10.
more than 10.
Yeah, well, when I first saw it, it was about 10, and it was just like, it was like the dam broke immediately. Like, usually in these cases, one person comes out and then another one, but no, these women found each other somehow. I guess they're all in the same community.
They
But
were a
found each other.
coordinated strike team.
Yeah, it was like SEAL Team 6 of abuse victims. It was impressive. They like
Oh my
posted
God.
their...
Jackson, it's
What?
way more than like 12. Okay, I'm gonna read you the list of names. Not calling out
Okay.
anybody, just like for counting purposes. Naomi, Kelly, Cree, Momo, Red, Summer, Falcona, Uzu, Lyra, Remy, Jade, Chica, Kinoya, Ashley, Stir, Crystal, Spatula, Nano, and Chica again.
Scorpion,
It's like
Sub-Zero, Kano, Sonya Blade, Raiden.
So many.
Why was one
right.
individual on there twice, though? I'm a bit confused by that.
I don't know. Maybe
They have
some
like
other cheap-
another story to tell
Oh
about
no,
it?
it's because she added audio as well to her original
okay.
testimony.
Oh, the
So
audio's
all of
so
these-
goofy.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
going to
I
get
have
to that
clips.
eventually.
Yeah, we're gonna get to it.
So
but
let me just
so the thing
finish. Let me just
Okay.
finish. So these women came out about their stories. They posted their tweet threads and stuff. And usually, like, there'd be a bit of, you know, give or take. Like, people would be defending the individual in this case, because that's just how these kinds of things go. But this one was pretty clear and cut and dry, because these women brought so much proof to the table, like a ridiculous amount of proof. Like, they backed up all of their claims pretty much. They had audio recordings of him. They had picture evidence of him. And I do want to clarify, this isn't like a child predator case. These were all like women aged
for
over
once,
20.
yeah, finally.
Yeah, so it's not that, but it's still like his messages to these women were so abusive and manipulative and just fucking pathetic.
And just
Yeah,
sad.
it was just pathetic.
And like as Jackson said, there's so much. I guess I wouldn't call it evidence per se. It's not like it would hold
Well,
up
it is.
in a court, but it's
I don't know if it qualifies as a crime, but it is evidence of what they were accusing him of.
yeah, and it's genuinely just 100 different screenshots of Discord conversations that I couldn't keep up anymore. And all of the names that I just listed, by the way, those like 24 women, they all each individually made their own Google documents and Twitlongers that are like 10,000 fucking words describing in detail what this man has done. And we're going to get to some of them because they're kind of entertaining.
I would like to
go
say,
on,
as a
Jackson.
man who played in his most recent campaign, I didn't know any of this. If I did,
obviously.
I would have been the
I
one
should
to
hope
break
so.
the story. I would have tried to protect everyone from him.
But you would have integrated it into the D&D campaign. Like,
Imagine
he's like,
integrated
you
it.
see a lone pervert walking through the forest.
Yeah, imagine if I found this out like before the finale of our campaign and I just call him out.
Oh,
I cast
would've been
reveal
fun.
the
Could've been
truth. It lets
been the
me know
hero.
knowledge I shouldn't.
So people listening to this are going to see just how pathetic Arcadum comes across soon. Like his real persona, if you will, his real actual character of his being is just so flawed and pathetic. Pathetic's just the best word for it. But I wanted to ask you, Charlie, and I did ask you yesterday, but I want this on the record. How was he when you actually played with him? Was he an enjoyable person to play with and be around?
He just seemed like a really normal guy, like super nerdy, loves D&D. His community was so talented and creative. Like this guy had probably one of the most creative communities I've seen on Twitch, and he seemed to really appreciate them. I never got any like bad feelings about him or anything.
Yeah.
He was able to hide his evil very well.
his evil
Well, I guess
levels.
that's-
Oh, we got to that.
That's useful for a D&D, what do you call them, DM or whatever. They're good at acting and stuff and separating
Don't-
shit.
Don't forget his soldier training. We're gonna get to that too. He was ready for combat.
There's so
Jackson,
much
do you
funny
wanna?
shit.
Shall I read from some of the Twitlongers here?
Yeah, go
I
for
took
it.
some highlights.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a Twitlonger by Kelly Siren and titled My Experience with Arcadum. So she goes on about how he would basically keep inviting them to VR chats, and every single time he would try to guilt trip them into basically having pity sex with them. Pity roleplay sex.
ERP.
So
I
she
think,
writes,
right?
yeah, erotic roleplay, I believe they call it. Anyway, Arcadum and I had been friends for a year already at this point. 2 years ago, around the start of Callous Row Season 1, we started to get closer. Arcadum opened up to me about something really bad that happened in his relationship. He would ask for my support and would ask me to get on VR chat with him to listen and help, as we all do sometimes with our friends. I wanted to help him. I wanted to be there for him in this shitty time. He would break down crying almost every single time. Things were okay, and I had genuine, I felt, talks about what he was going through. Things started to shift a bit when he suggested I comfort him in more than just words. He would say how he wasn't desirable, how he feels like less of a man, how sad and lonely he is. Eventually, it started leading to, quote, "I'm really sad, is it alright if I hug you?" and similar comments, which led to flirting and then more, him commenting on my character's boobs and stuff, and could he touch them?
In VR, though, just to make sure
In
we're all
VR.
on the same page here. He wanted to touch her character's boobs.
Yeah, her VR boobs. And I've seen some clips from that game, I guess, that I sent Jackson. They have very elaborate boob physics. They're very gelatinous. Problem is, this is her now. Problem is, eventually it meant if I were going to get on VR chat to comfort him, it would most definitely lead to him asking me if I could make him feel better in a sexual way. So
It's just so pathetic. This is that kind of manipulation. It's probably the most pathetic manipulation tactic ever. Where
It
you
also
couple,
never works, by the way. Like if you
Yeah.
think for 1 second that you're gonna get like pity sex or something by just being a fucking loser and crying in front of
But
a
it's
girl,
also-
it
you're
worked for him.
dreadfully wrong.
No, it worked in this case, Charlie. He did have lots and lots of PDVR sex.
It is also just so genuinely manipulative as well to couple a request like that with like a sob story and stuff, because you're already putting like unnecessary pressure on the other person, like making
And the
them feel
clout.
bad for you.
He really liked
what's the
exploiting
clout?
his clout too.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get to that. That's somebody else's testimony. I'll continue Kylie, what's her name again? Kelly's story. She says, I said yes sometimes. because I would just get tired of dealing with the constant asking. He literally nagged her into VR sex.
Yeah.
She says, I was afraid he'd drop our friendship. I was afraid of him. Every time after, he would say he was sorry and ask if I really wanted it. This proves he knew he was harassing me. He would say it didn't seem like I was into it.
Yeah, how did they even get like into it? Like once the VR sex starts, is it her just going, oh yes, this is great?
She probably just doesn't do anything. I would imagine she just like takes the headset off and lets him touch her avatar.
And then he jerks off in real life.
Can you do that in VR chat? How does it work? Is there like emotes where you can fuck?
I don't know. I've never seen VR chat sex or anything, but I like in other VR games, you can just like kind of take the headset off and just.
I've seen VR chat sex. It's fucking crazy. So the easiest way to describe it is there's body tracking in VR. So it can literally just track where your hands and legs and body are moving. So they just kind of like rub up against each other digitally and like moan for each other. It's basically phone sex.
Okay.
It's the same exact thing as phone sex, but you can see models of each other. That's all.
Why is phone sex less pathetic to me than VR sex, actually? I don't know why that...
Oh, that is far less pathetic. Phone sex is fine. It's like if your girlfriend is away, you can talk dirty to each other. But VR sex is, I don't know. This used to be a thing with Second Life 2. I don't know if you guys remember. There were entire economies around like virtual brothels in that game.
I do remember that.
Maybe it's more pathetic to me. Yeah, it happens in MMOs as well.
Yeah,
I was just
going
to say,
I think
it might be more
community.
It might be more pathetic to me because VR sex seems like such a break from reality, and I think being that desperate to break from reality and have weird VR sex is more
how
pathetic.
quickly we all forget, especially you, Jackson. What was the Star Wars MMO, the older one?
Galaxy.
Star Wars Galaxies had the highest like paying profession was stripping. And you would just go to certain clubs in the galaxy and take off your character's clothes down to their underwear and do a bunch of dance emotes and type dirty in the chat. And it earned you more money than getting actual jobs in the game. People love that shit. They eat it up.
So goofy. All right. So to get back, she continues to explain how he knew what he was doing was wrong. He would always say okay and that he understood, but he would just keep asking at later times, checking to see if I wanted to. So he just did this relentlessly, messaging these women. And I have one little message from him on Discord that's... I sent this to Jackson too because it made me laugh. Arcadum says, before you try to fall asleep again, we could fap. It would make me relax.
Oh, he actually says fap? Oh, God.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, he does.
No.
And that's why I took that screenshot.
Me.
Such a gross word. Why would you use that? He'd constantly ask if he excites me. I don't know, man. Yeah, I only know that word from like the 2010s Rage comics that people are now posting. He'd constantly ask if he excites me, if I have feelings, if I find him attractive. I realize now that he was doing the same thing to multiple girls simultaneously. Ah, that's his mistake. You see, hell hath no wrath like a groupie realizing she's not special. This guy went around doing this to 20 fucking women, somehow thinking that they're never gonna talk to each other. That a secret of his was never going to be revealed. She says he at one point asked me out and told me his feelings in a call. He told me he loved me. I found out he told so many other girls he loved them at the same time.
No, Arcadum. Jesus.
So Jackson, correct me if I'm wrong. He was in a long-time relationship at the time as well.
This one I can chime in on. I actually knew about this. He's had a girlfriend for a long time, but he keeps calling her his wife. So every time he would talk to us, he'd mention his wife. So I looked it up one time because I was curious, and they've just been dating for a while. So he did all this while having a girlfriend, and it looks like he's in a state of perpetual RP. I also remember one time that he said, I don't even know if the whole lid's been blown. I remember one time he had to cancel one of our sessions because he was accusing his wife of cheating on him. And it seems like that was some projecting now, looking back on it.
Oh, it could be possible that
maybe
she also did cheat on it. Maybe they were cheating on each other as well. Who knows?
Yeah, they're both VR chat harlots.
To me, that's not like super relevant because it's less about that kind of stuff and more about just how abusive he was.
It is. I mean, it is relevant though that
Yeah.
he's this big scumbag that'll go behind his longtime girlfriend and do this shit. It speaks
So
to his
she
character.
But we don't know their personal
Okay, I
relationship
guess
history.
fine. We'll not
Yeah, I
talk
guess
about
it
her.
could be open.
So she continues to talk about how he would get so jealous that he would basically kind of sort of stalk her and pay attention to what she was doing in the VR chat. That, like, you know, on the messenger, you can see when somebody's online or in a room with somebody else.
No, wait, hang on. He was stalking his girlfriend in VR chat or the person confessing?
The other women. This is
Okay.
Kelly right now. So he was stalking
Okay.
Kelly and the other ones too. So what he would do is sit, I guess, in the login screen or something of VR chat, and he
Yeah.
would see them in a server with other people, and he would get very, very angry at this because the women were spending time with other people. So she says, there was a day after my stream where someone had shown him personal info of mine. He demanded from my friend that she show him proof that I was speaking to someone. He called me very upset and said that I lied to him. He started going behind my back and confronting any guys he thought I was talking to. He would
Jesus.
approach the guys,
Yeah,
tell
like,
them that he
yeah.
had feelings for me, and ask their intentions with me. So, obviously, those guys would then get kind of creeped out, like, "What? You know, I'm not touching this. I don't want this drama. Go away."
Yeah, have you guys ever
So-
done that? Have you ever guys done anything? Have you guys ever done anything similar to that? Have you guys reached out to another guy,
No.
a competition or anything? I've never been
No.
that jealous. I don't actually get that jealous really at all. But I've never
That's
been
like-
that jealous that I would do
No.
anything like that.
Well,
It's
you
also
can be
really
jealous. I think
fucking
that's fair,
lame.
but
Yeah,
it is really lame. The only acceptable version of that is with you and your very close friend. Like, I saw her first, bro. Right? Like, in a joking manner, that's fine. But if it's complete strangers, you're like interrupting their fucking coffee at Starbucks. Like, who are you? What? Do you like her? I like her more.
Well, just let her
she
choose,
can
and if she chooses someone else, just fuck off. Who cares?
Oh, but hold
Like, move
on,
on.
my friends. She says, he had absolutely no shame in this when I confronted him about approaching guys behind my back. He said it was their fault for being weak and not talking to me anymore. He called me and lectured me that I get too close to people too quickly. And
he's
then there's
protecting
this-
her.
Yeah, so as part of his stalking campaign, his cyber stalking, he also got mad at her over Twitter. She says, he told me I had new favorites. He got mad at me for liking their tweets and not his. It was just so much obsession over me and my life. So, I read some of the Discord screenshots there. He actually asks her, hey, how come it takes you like a day to like my tweets, but it only takes you a few minutes to like other guys' tweets?
Wow.
Imagine getting upset over someone's likes on Twitter. Christ.
Imagine noticing someone's likes on
Yeah.
Twitter.
Like, he would have had to have obsessively be watching her every online interaction at that point, right?
Yeah.
God,
I
that's
don't even know
fucking
why those-
weird.
That's just the lowest form of life on earth. Is the kind of people who go to somebody's profile and they click the likes tab to see what they've liked, to see if it's to their satisfaction, I guess. Fucking weirdos. Anyway, she ends the tweet longer by saying that he has been going back in time and editing his messages to her. Like, you know how you can edit your message on Discord that
Yeah.
you've previously sent to make them look less, creepy, basically. Because apparently what has happened is that his wife got wise to his hijinks behind her back. So he's been purging his chat history with all these women, or at least trying to, but they've caught him. So that was Kelly, or Carly. Yes, Kelly. Then we have Jade's. So Jade says,
Well, before
One
we get
night
to
I was-
Jade, what about
Yeah,
Andrew?
wait. What about Andrew's
What?
story?
Yeah, what do I have to do with this,
yeah.
Charlie?
Well, you wanted to talk
what's
about
your tweet
honey.
longer?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Read from your tweet
I
longer
remember. I was
experience.
reading all the confessions of the girls, and my name was on there, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And it said he
probably
just
another
really wanted to
segment.
talk about honey.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Yeah. So let me go ahead and read what I wrote for my confession here. Honey is the free and easy way to automatically search for promo codes so you can stop paying full price when you don't need to. It works on a ton of websites. You'll go to, oh, God knows how many websites, hundreds, thousands maybe. and you'll be shopping along and you'll go, hey, I like this product, but I don't want to pay full price for it. Honey, bring me your little drop down. And Honey, in its infinite wisdom, will bring you a little drop down menu, and all you do is hit apply coupons at checkout, and then the coupons are applied at checkout, and you save money by doing absolutely nothing. I am constantly getting free shipping with Honey. Honey very often has this deal where they go, hey, if you wait an extra day, your shipping will be completely free. So you save, like, depending on the website, like fucking $4 to $7 just by waiting one extra day. I think you can wait an extra day. Get it for a discount. And all you have to do is add Honey to your computer in seconds at joinhoney.com/official. That's joinhoney.com/official.
All right. I'll continue now.
Let's continue.
Yes, with Jade. Let me find my place here. So Jade's... Jade's. So this is another person that he crept on, I guess. They're saying, one night I was talking to some friends in a random world. I had my cell phone green so any of my VR chat friends could join. While I was relaxing, I heard one of the people I was go, oh shit, Arcadum's here. I turned around to see him, and I walked up and asked him, what's up? I did my insecure spiel about how it was boring here, and how I wasn't doing anything very interesting, and he said that's okay. Then he said, I need to talk to you. So this is him now. Jades, I need you to know something. Sure, what's up? I just dropped my merch line today and made $300,000. I'm blowing up. I need to know if you're going to be treating me differently now because of this.
Oh my god, dude. Subtle.
So she continues. She replies, of course I will, Arcadum. End quote. This was the start of our very secretive friendship/relationship that I was led to believe was entirely and uniquely our own. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. Sorry, sweetheart. Arcadum told me he was lonely. I asked him about his personal life, and he said he didn't have anyone to celebrate his financial and relevance victories on Twitch with. He kept
Could have
saying,
reached out to Charlie.
Yeah, we could have celebrated.
Get off my desk. Oh, no!
I would have let him grab my dick in VR chat or something cool.
Okay.
Oh, you could have been the hero that prevented all this very easily.
He could have molested you instead of these 2,000 women.
I'd put myself in between him and a woman and just give him my wiener to touch in VR chat.
So he has no one to celebrate with, and she continues. He kept saying over and over how he has urges as a man and needed to relax throughout his blow up. Those urges, you guys. We've all had them.
Oh, yeah.
She was starstruck. He was, after all, Arcadum. She said, okay, well, have you tried doing anything in VR chat with other girls? I asked. No, never. I've always known about it, but I wouldn't know the first thing about ERP. I giggled.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah,
no way would he know anything about that.
Yeah. You can have sex in this app? Whoa. But wouldn't it be funny if we tried? So she, I don't want to say self-incriminatingly, but, you know, she goes into detail about how she basically taught him, quote unquote, taught him how to have VR sex. She continues to write, the next few months I was essentially booty called by Arcadum on Discord on and off. He would phrase his invites as innocently as possible, telling me he'd like to talk in VR chat in full body at 11 p.m. The nights we did things, oh, he made me feel like I was earning something from him. He'd made comments like, you know that as a dungeon master I pull the strings in a game. The same rules apply to Twitch, Jades. I work the same way.
Oh, that's so bad. that is actually like when I was reading Jade's story, I was like, she seems kind of like willing, but that part is just so creepy.
Oh,
like promising rewards,
empathetic,
for this kind of stuff. Ugh.
Throughout the entire process of all our meetups, Arcadum would first ask me to swear I would keep my discretion. And then he, at some point, finally, they had one last call, and he apparently said, well, Jades, I need your word. Please don't tell anyone about this. And she replied, I won't tell, Arcadum. I won't tell. Those are literally
she
the
ends
last
it.
words on the twit longer.
It's kind of badass.
So, she did tell Arcadum. She did tell.
Can you play the audio note, Jackson? I think that's definitely the goofiest stuff.
Yeah, so
I'm getting to it. Don't worry. Yeah, just so to lead into the audio now. The audio call, I pulled some clips. They're all from a call between him and a girl called Naomi. And Naomi led into this by saying, let's see, I was in VR chat and Arcanum requested on me. We went over some pleasantries, then he started talking about how pent up and repressed he was feeling. He kept saying that he was so lonely, that he's desperate to feel like a man again. This guy really wants to feel like a man. Having sex in
it's
VR
always the
chat
same.
is not
It's
the way
always
to
the
do
same
it.
MO. It's always like the same modus
Yeah.
operandi with him. He uses the same tactics. He uses the same guilt tripping. It's the same with
Yeah.
every single one of these girls.
This girl, he formally, she says, in this call, he said, quote, I would like to request to formally court you.
Oh,
what a gentleman.
Oh, sir fucking Arcadium here.
wow.
Straight from the
My
Renaissance Fair.
liege.
All right. Okay, now let's get to the clips. I have so many fucking clips, goddamn. So, from what I understand, the backstory here is... So she recorded this call between them. That's like an hour long. The backstory is apparently they were just chatting in VR chat as always, over audio maybe. And he made a remark, like a joke, like, haha, Naomi, this is why people don't invite you to their parties. And she was very upset by this. And their talk is about essentially him, you know, he's so tough that that's just banter to him and she wouldn't understand.
So now we move on to this point.
Wait, Kai, can you pause that?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I just want to provide a bit of context. So that happened on a stream, basically. Like she showed up to a stream that he was having with some friends, and they were bantering back and forth, and she joined in, and then he said that line to her, the whole, "This is why no one invites you to parties" or whatever, and that hurt her feelings a bit too much, so she left and was venting with a friend, and she told him, pretty respectfully, I might add, that, you know, that kind of hurt her feelings. And all she was looking for was just like acknowledgement and maybe like an apology or something from him. Just a simple one that you would kind of expect from a friend. And then he went into this whole tirade that you're about to see from Kaya's recording.
And Jackson sent me a really fucking awesome video where it's like a...
Oh, we're going to play that. Don't
yeah,
worry.
But
Don't
they
spoil
won't be
it.
able to see, they won't be able to see the video though.
Yeah, well, maybe Danny can put it up on screen.
I'll
it's
link it in the
audio, but-
description as well.
Yeah, maybe just link it in the description. The video is so good. It's like
Yeah.
the best AMV
Oh,
I've
it's
ever
really
seen.
good. The music alone makes it though. Everything,
Yeah, it
it's so
does.
perfect. Anyway, all right. So let's start. Here he declares that he shan't no longer banter with Naomi.
So now we move on to this point. I will no longer be bantering with you because I have no way of knowing as to whether or not you're going to be able to take it, because I have been very, very careful leading up to this point on what you can and can't take, and it seemed like you could. I was wrong. And the only way to ensure that this won't happen again is to not do it with you anymore. There you go.
He'll never
That's
be
the
wrong
solution.
twice. He won't allow it.
There
His
you go,
calculations
Naomi.
don't allow it.
He can't read the room, and apparently, despite talking to 24 fucking women, this man has not figured out how to talk to women. And that's my clip is literally called "This is not how women work." .wave. Here.
Telling me that you had a bad weekend.
I think
and
he
made-
knows how women work. I think he knows how women work, but he thinks he's such a badass that it doesn't matter. Like, he thinks he's a god among
maybe you're
human.
giving him a lot of credit. Let's see.
No, that's what
telling
he
me
thinks.
that you had a bad weekend and I made you cry over some banter. That was resolved the moment I responded with, I was just kidding. It was just banter. I am sorry it hurt your feelings. That is because that was my intention, an understanding that it hurt you, and an admission to fault, in which I took care of all of that in 2 sentences.
Yeah, that's not how women work. You don't get
No,
at them with
hey,
like, I
Kaya,
took care of your
that's-
feelings in 2
Kaya.
sentences.
That's not how people work.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't just
I'm
go
sorry
up to
for-
someone. You can't just go up to someone and say really awful, fucking violating shit, and then go, "Oh, well, I just said it was banter, so it's okay that I did that." It's
And
fine.
also, I'm sorry you are upset. That's not an
Yeah.
apology. That's shifting it onto them. That's
just
that's
that
not
the
how
underlying-
apologies work.
The underlying tone is one of, I apologized. Why are you still sad? I explained to you logically why you're being silly. Ugh. All right, so then he gets a little indignant and says this.
So I'm saying, what I'm saying is that like that phrase in and of itself did not feel like banter to me, because I don't take.
That's not my problem, is it?
Oh,
Wow.
my God.
I mean, wait. So
Be stronger, my advice. Or don't play.
Wow, what an asshole. Holy shit.
That's Arcadum, baby. I've heard this part. Yeah.
Oh my
What a
God.
dick,
what an
dude.
actual douchebag. Holy fuck.
I like
old
that
woman.
she's.
And
You can hear how exasperated
her.
she's growing.
You can hear her struggling to find what to say and getting like visibly fucking upset by it. And yet he's just saying,
Yep.
"Oh, what are you crying? What are you getting upset? Fuck you, God! What a dick!
So I mentioned
Holy shit! What a douche!"
The reason I mentioned that he apologized before is because this is important to the rest of this audio. Because once he had apologized and she wasn't immediately happy and everything wasn't back to normal immediately at the snap of a finger, he starts getting mad at her and he starts insulting her.
you know, if somebody does something that doesn't have the intention to hurt, but it hurts somebody, they don't like say like, oh, well, that wasn't like I.
Okay, actually, I played the wrong clip. Sorry, this is him insulting her. I apologize.
And then you tried to go into your regular lecturing self, which you've done plenty of times. Some banter can be hurtful, and I just didn't want to deal with it. And then you proceeded to try and explain to me in further detail why I was wrong to say it, and I just didn't want to deal with it. I just didn't have the sympathy for it.
He didn't have the
As if
sympathy
anyone
for it, you
could,
guys.
as if anyone could explain anything to a god like Arcadum.
He's a goddamn
understands
dungeon
all.
master, after all.
That's
You don't
true.
get
No,
it.
you know what he is? You know what he is? He's a 32-year-old man somehow. What kind of 32-year-old man is like this? Jesus Christ.
No.
A
If
soldier,
this story
Jackson.
came out
It's
and
like a high school
Arcadium,
kid.
if this story came out and Arcadium was like 19 or something, I'd be like, okay, I could see him acting like this,
Oh,
where
yes.
he's just this like really emotionally immature and like
Stunted.
like manipulative of women and kind of, immature, stunted man. I get that. But if he's 32 and acting this way with a alleged long-term girlfriend, what the fuck? What the
Yeah,
fuck?
it's confusing.
Absolutely. He has the understanding of a 15-year-old when it comes to
Yeah.
relationships, especially with the women, apparently. So in this clip, he goes on to explain that he's no longer going to play the game, to quote him, with her, which means he's not talking about D&D. He's talking about no longer bantering with her because she can't take it.
Have time or sympathy left in my tank to deal with that. So the best way to make sure that you don't get hurt again is to make sure that you don't play the game. I just won't play it with you. There you go. Everyone wins. It's not like our relationship's going to change. That is a presumption on your end. The change will be seamless. You won't notice it. Even with me pointing it out to you, you won't see it.
This man is rolled
Because
a
I know how to
nat
do it.
1 in charisma. Good lord.
Good lord. I knew that joke was coming.
You won't even notice it because I know how to do it. And also, do you think our relationship is gonna change just because I'm mad at you and I'm rambling? And he goes on to say that they're still friends.
And because of the kind of person that I am, I want to bring up shots, even if they're on bad days, because I don't want
She's
friendships
upset
to be
now.
fucked up with people
Yeah,
that I care about. All right.
This
This
poor girl.
isn't. None of this is going to happen like that. Your presumption. What you're going to think we're not going to be friends anymore because of this? No, I just won't. I just
How
won't play
dare
with
you not be my
like that.
friend?
That's all.
I know.
Holy shit.
I'm gonna treat you differently because you're like a child to me. Oh, you can't even take my jokes. Pfft. But what, you think that means we're not gonna be friends anymore? Come on.
This guy,
So fucking
just
manipulative.
like to just fully encapsulate this whole thing. This man did some like verbal sexual assault, some really creepy lead on and RP shit, and then after she's expressing that she didn't like it and it was awful and uncomfortable, he goes, "Well, what do you think? You think we're not going to be friends? What the fuck, huh? You can't stop
what
being
an
my friend.
asshole
You're here
you
forever." Good lord.
Oh yeah, you're right. There is an air of what a dick you are. What, you're gonna
Exactly.
blow up our friendship just because of this? Pah, how dare you, lady?
Yeah, way to overreact.
So now he goes into what a badass he is.
Do you have any idea what it's like to not even be able to talk your true feelings to somebody because you know it'll fucking destroy them?
These are his true feelings.
Like,
Jesus.
Do you have any idea what that's like? Like,
Calm down,
that's
Max
my
Payne.
constant existence. Is I can't tell people what I really think or the truth about something, not the full one, because I know that they can't fucking take it.
Why do you have so many harmful thoughts towards your friends then?
It's
like,
not harmful thoughts, they're hard truths.
That's right.
Yeah, you can't handle Arcadum's truth,
Him
brother.
wanting to feel up his fucking cyber friends is a hard truth. Yeah.
And now, since he's revealed his true power level there and admitted to us what a miserable existence he has to lead with the rest of us sheeple, I want to play this clip somebody made, and I wish I knew who. Jackson sent this to me.
It was on Reddit. I don't know.
Okay, well, credit to whoever made this. It is very funny. It's a
Wait!
mashup.
Don't start it yet. Don't start it yet. Before we do that.
Doo-doo.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Look, before we do any of this, you out there listening, are you getting the highest quality audio experience from this? Are you
should,
making
because
sure?
we're about to play you some music.
Yeah,
So,
if
grab your
you're out there,
Raycons.
if you're out there listening, you might not be listening on the highest quality audio experience. You might be putting on some terrible low grade earbuds from a generic company. Maybe you're using the ones that came with your phone. Oh God, do you not understand audio quality? Come on now. Look, no matter what sort of audio quality you're listening on right now, you might want to consider upgrading to Raycon wireless earbuds. I mean, sometimes you just need some good music to pump you up. Sometimes you just need to zone out and tune out the world with some meditative relaxation tunes. Or maybe sometimes you need to listen to a man just reveal himself to the internet as... I don't even know how to describe this. It's the most woefully pathetic thing I've ever heard. But Raycons are anything but pathetic. They are the best way to listen to anything. They come with a bunch of gel tips for your comfort, and unlike other brands, they don't stick outside of your ears. They have a 32-hour battery life, which means you could be listening to it, fall asleep while wearing them, wake up, and still have a good number of hours to listen to it. They start at half the price of other premium audio brands. They start at half the price of other premium audio brands, but they sound just as good. And Raycons come with a 45-day happiness guarantee, so you really can't lose. You can create your own soundtrack with Raycon. Right now, official podcast listeners can get 15% off their Raycon order at buyraycon.com/OP. That's buyraycon.com/op. Buyraycon.com/OP for 15% off your Raycons.
Sweet.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Raycon. Now let's get into the good shit.
Yes,
This is what we've been
I
waiting
trust
for. It's all been building
everyone.
up to this.
Yes, I trust everybody has their Raycons in now and ready to listen. So this is just somebody took Arcadum's own words from that call and superimposed it on top of anime footage and opera music.
I'm tough.
Well-
If I wasn't tough, I would have died long ago. Once, many years ago, I allowed myself to become arrogant, and I became the most evil version of myself that I have ever witnessed. It disgusted me. Because imagine, you know me enough now that you know what my abilities are. Imagine if they had no temperance, and I was selfish. Imagine the destruction that I could wreak.
I remember this scene from Gurren
I
Lagann.
wasn't. And it was only because of my self-realization that thankfully my love for D&D outpaced my selfishness, and I was able to retemper myself.
Fuck, we were so close to
But
doomsday.
the thing
it
is
sounds
that
like.
I know that my influence is palpable and is naturally more destructive. Recently, I've been exposed to other people who also have that power at differing degrees and specializations. But from what I've noticed, with the exception of probably two, mine is stronger than theirs. And I keep it in check. Because if I don't, I could really hurt someone. That's the tragedy that I live. My training prevents me from being, I don't have the luxury of being emotional. It's just another adjustment that I have to do in my constant state of service that I live in. That's why I don't talk about it. That's also why I don't play Among Us.
Hang on. What?
It's the best ending.
What?
It's the best ending ever.
What a plot twist! Holy shit!
If he played Among Us, Andrew, a fraction of his power might leak to us mortals, and we would feel the destruction.
He might.
it's
he
so
might
good.
actually kill someone in real life if he played Among Us.
I know. It was nice.
He's
of him
too. He's too good at Among Us. He can't play it. That's what he's trying to say. He's too good at manipulating, so he's not allowed to play
Yeah.
Among Us.
I tried to look for an explanation in the call as to why. Like, I wanted to hear the rest of that. Unfortunately, they never elaborate. But that is very delicious. So that is Arcadum. Now we get into math, you guys, because as a dungeon master, you have to know math, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know, all these women are speaking out against him, and you know, when that happens, when you get cancelled, a lot of your friends, they will abandon you. He's done the math on just how many people actually are good friends of his.
I mean, do you think that if you didn't do D&D that people wouldn't be friends with you? Like, that's not the
Yes.
case.
No. I know that's in fact, I can give you a percentage. It is actually, I believe it is 17.8% of the people that I run D&D for will continue to be my friends once the game is done. I have that number for you. I have made that calculation. I have made that calculation 4 separate occasions. The evidence is empirical.
The evidence is empirical.
This guy is amazing because it's crazy to think. This is like a radical concept that if you're a piece of shit and a terrible human being, only a percentage of the people who you make content with will want to hang out with you outside of that content. I can't fucking believe he actually figured that out using math. It's crazy.
First of all, let's not give him the credit. He didn't do it. He didn't do the math. There's no way.
That's not true, Jackson. In fact, he even revealed his rubric, if I remember correctly. He made these calculations based on people's height, race, gender, and a couple of
He
other
did.
things.
That
Wait,
he did,
really?
indeed. And there are even more percentages, Andrew. Listen.
Wait, 17.
Excuse me, will continue to be my friend. I believe it is 48% of you won't talk to me ever again.
Oh.
Wait, what about the other percent?
Passing messages, not a real friendship.
Oh.
Now, those numbers are probably going to be more bloated onto the passivity due to my position as a streamer. I haven't done the recalculations based off of that yet, but I can tell you unequivocally that the use of D&D in order to make friends has a 17.8% retention rate. That's the tragedy that I live.
Oh my god.
Cursed to
But
only
Andrew-
have 1 in 5 friends.
I love that Andrew hasn't heard any of these before. This is very
I
entertaining.
don't. This is all. So for those of you who don't know, Charlie played D&D with this guy, and Jackson and Kaya have been digging into this. This is the first I'm hearing of any of this.
Are you
That
enjoying
is
it?
beautiful. You
I
represent,
don't know what to say to half of it.
Yeah,
You
it's
represent
crazy.
our audience right now. You're the innocent soul being introduced to this. So,
No, I think
Andrew-
a lot of people in the audience will know.
Yeah, probably a sizable chunk. Maybe not most, though. But Andrew, you might
Yeah.
think, okay, see, he's done all this math. Has he ever tried to, like, fix himself? Oh, sir, just listen.
Well, have you
But
thought,
anyway.
thought about why though? Because like,
Oh, no, of course I have, Naomi. Please.
Yeah, you stupid idiot.
Yes, I have. I have augmented behaviors. I have done experiments to determine why. I have tried to pick different ethnicities. I've tried to do different gender counts. I've done everything that was within my power to experiment, and that number has remained depressingly the same. So,
Regardless of age, gender,
wait, what?
religion.
He's bringing in fucking eugenics into this. This is crazy.
What was his point there? Was he trying to find friends in different racial groups? Is that
I
what he's saying?
believe the point he was making is no matter who he picks, without ever really changing himself and changing the people that he surrounds himself with, the number stays the same.
Yeah, he kind of like completely misunderstood what she was saying. Like she was pretty subtly, well, not subtly. She was pretty much saying, "You're a dick. Maybe be a better person."
He continues.
Hatred for Arcadum brings all the races and genders together.
He continues about how he has no time for little stuff like emotions. Ugh.
Probably because you've had an emotional a day. I've had one too, but I'm used to having those because I'm not saying that I'm used to having those like other people don't have those every day.
Right.
I'm saying those that I am in a specific situation in which my training prevents me from being, I don't have the luxury of being emotional.
So
This guy sounds like the most emotional person ever, first of all.
Yes.
Like, ridiculously emotional.
That's only because
Very
you're not on
envious.
his level of intelligence,
All right,
Jackson.
I haven't heard the training yet.
His calculations may sound like
I
emotions.
didn't go through emotional boot camp or whatever the fuck he went
It
through.
does take a high IQ to understand Arcadum and his training. So
Yeah,
Jackson, I don't know
silly
how
me.
much you've looked into this. He was a soldier. And he likes to bring that up a lot, and that's what he ties constantly into his lack of empathy, is that because of his training as a soldier, he doesn't have the luxury for being emotional.
So wait, he was in the military?
Yeah, no,
I think so.
Ty's right. You can't be emotional on the battlefield. He needs to stay that way permanently.
Yeah, and the battlefield trenches of World War II and you DMing a cute chick, it's really the same.
It's the
right,
same
if you
thing.
think about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here he apologizes again. I don't know why I pulled this clip, but I guess he apologizes again and she giggles. That's what I call the clip.
I am sorry that I hurt your feelings.
Thank you for saying that.
Of the percentage that I believe it is my fault, I certainly believe that I hold enough of a percentage of it being my fault that it deems an apology.
That's why I pulled
None of
it.
it was her fault, you son of a bitch. Jesus
So
Christ.
fucking autistic. When you're apologizing, you're
idiot.
not supposed to like cut the percentages. I feel 27% apologetic.
Yeah, this guy loves math. But so can we go back to the 17.8% thing? Because I'm going to say something controversial here, but I don't think he did the math, because to get like 17.8%, don't you have to have like a group of at least like 1,000 people?
Jackson,
to split it that much?
Oh my god, what do you know about mathematics when it relates to
Nothing.
Dungeons and Dragons, Jackson? You're not qualified to
and
run his
women.
data.
I know
Dungeons and
nothing
Dragons and
about
women.
math, but it seems like he doesn't either.
That number
think
is
you can-
infallible, Jackson. 17.8% repeating. He's done the experiment numerous times. What don't you get?
4 times. 4 times, even adjusted for race. So Jackson, QED, he's done the math. It's empirical evidence, you see.
Maybe the fact that it's like a percentage, that much of a percentage, like a 0.8, means that he values a specific gender less. Maybe it counts less, or something like that. Something really evil.
Maybe. So what happens next is he brings up in the call a document that somebody sent him, basically hate mail. It's just hate mail that he was sent. And he's very, very angry at this hate mail that he brings up to Naomi, because how dare they accuse him of dereliction of duty?
These people said the day that I streamed Lost Odyssey because I was depressed and I needed the break that everybody kept saying that I should take was a dereliction of my duty.
Yeah, that's
Coming from people that did not serve in the military and therefore do not have a fucking idea of what duty is. Now, I know they probably didn't mean it that way, but when you use a word like when you use a phrase like dereliction of duty, which is a military term,
yeah,
then I'm going to rip your fucking head off.
right.
Ooh.
That's where my sympathy
Are they
went
dead
today,
now?
was not destroying the people that sent that to me.
You don't
Or
know what
he's inbound.
fucking duty is. It's playing Dungeons and Dragons, damn it.
It's just so fucking
They don't know
sad,
how
dude.
close they were to dying when they sent that message.
He was going to launch a tactical drone strike on them, no doubt.
He was going to
getting
fucking
a bit
destroy
scary there
them.
for a second.
Well, you know what you have to do in most militaries around the world is shave. Isn't that right, Andrew?
I assume so. I can
least in
tell
the
you how to get a
Turkish one,
great
you have to
shave, but
keep
I don't know how much I can
Yes.
speak towards the military. Maybe you got some commandos running around with big beards. But tell you what, you out there listening, you can't let them do that. If you see any man out there with a beard that's just unsightly, unkempt, untrimmed, let me put out a message to you there, folks. Anyone out there listening, shave your neck. Do it. Way too many men who grow beards go, oh, I've got a beard now. Now I'm handsome. But they don't clean it. They don't straighten it up. You got to shave the cheeks and the neck and tame the wild hairs, and that's how you look
Yes.
good. And one way that you're going to do it is with Harry's. Harry's delivers a close, comfortable shave at a fair price, just as low as $2 per blade. Harry's blades are designed to stay sharp, and in a recent study, guys who shave 4 times a week said their 8th shave was as smooth as the first. There's a 100% satisfaction guarantee as well. So if you're maybe a beard newbie, that's what we call them in the business, the beard business. I mean, I think what are we at here? 3 of us have beards? 2? I don't remember. I haven't checked the facts. I haven't looked at the webcams in a while. I don't know who's grown it and who's shaved it. But I know Charlie
We
and
all
I have beards.
We're all men.
Yeah. We all had the potential to grow a beard. How about that? And
I don't know about that, but yeah.
Well, speaking at least as the bearded side of the podcast, let me tell you something. You need to try the Harry's blades because they also come with a weighted ergonomic handle, and they also are crafted in their very own German factory. They control the means of production and focus on the most important razor features that allow them to set reasonable prices. I don't know if they still make it, but I think they offer a safety bright orange handle. And I think about that all the time because that's the handle I used whenever I used Harry's back in the day. I've, of course, upgraded to their luxury parts, but if they've got that safety orange handle, give that a try first. When you're in the shower, you will not miss it. Harry's is giving their best offer to the official podcast listeners. New Harry's customers can redeem a starter set. You will get a 5-blade razor, a weighted handle, foaming shave gel with aloe, and a travel cover to protect the blades when you're on the go. That's a $13 value for just $3. There's truly never been a better time to try Harry's. Go to harrys.com/official, spelled HARRYS.com/official to try Harry's today.
Thank you, Harry's.
You know who doesn't use Harry's? Arcadum. Don't end up like that.
Don't end up like that because you might get hate mail. So, to get back. Sorry, we only have 4 clips left. Don't worry. So he's talking now about how somebody sent him that document I just brought up.
Dude, it's fucking weird when
If
people
you're
have
interested,
rabies.
I had an entire document
like to
written
learn
about
more.
my shortcomings and
Nothing.
It was his own ad
Oh,
segue.
sorry.
Yeah.
document written about my shortcomings and sent to me today.
Wait, that was I thought that was like a couple days or like yesterday.
No, that happened today.
That happened today. And I did not know this, but apparently Arcadum has hired people for free in his Discord server to handle such
That's not
matters.
hiring.
Criticism.
That's not hiring.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, actually, that's not true. It's a privilege to work for Arcadum Jackson. They should be paying him to work for him.
Yeah.
I should.
He's paying them in exposure.
We should note that, like a strong percentage, to use Arcadum's terminology, a strong percentage of his manipulation is due to the fact that most of these people that he, abused, they worked for him or with him to some degree. Like some of their livelihoods relied on him pretty much. And
Yeah.
I'll get to it after this clip and stuff.
He did
But
pay a few people, but also a lot of them he just, basically it was just them being starstruck and him. Well, we've already read quotations of him bragging about his clout, right? So, apparently what he does in his server is he has people to handle criticism sent his way for him. These ladies, they get sent hate mail, and then they have to present the hate mail to him. And one of these ladies has a PhD.
I also had to listen to a doctor in psychology, a person with a doctorate in human psychiatry, who is my community admin, nearly burst into tears delivering this to me because of all this shit that she got put through putting it together, so that she would be forced to, by being kind, and basically she's trapped by her ideals because of the malignation of them. Because she believes everybody gets a voice. We specifically have protocols in place for that voice to be expressed, so on and so forth.
What the fuck?
See, that's the problem with too much PC thinking. You get trapped by it, and then you can't do anything.
Right.
Sometimes you need to draw the line in the sand and say, and soldier the fuck up. That person is wrong.
Yeah.
Period. It doesn't matter that they're a POC, a woman, or gay.
Oh, dude, I am all for like kicking toxic people out of communities, like full stop.
The point is I had to basically listen to her try not to cry in front of me.
Like this woman did earlier to you. Holy shit!
Oh my god, he had to fucking listen to a woman almost cry. Do you? He's the victim here now. I see it.
Hey, to be fair, Charlie, his point was that, seeing a woman cry would have made him sad because he's such a Chad.
He seemed angry about it.
He's a soldier, you see.
Well, no, it ties back into the lore. He's not allowed to be emotional.
True.
It's all looping
Charlie's
around.
right, though.
It's interesting how he makes everything about him in that situation.
Yeah.
Like he's suddenly the victim, even though he made this woman listen to complaints about him that he probably caused, and made her compile this giant document. And then when she presented it to him, he's still the victim somehow.
He's making it sound so deplorable that people would be mad at him. Again, remember, because he didn't play Dungeons and Dragons for like one night, I guess.
That was a big night, though. That was a big night.
Yeah, I guess to be fair, he had to hire a woman with a PhD in psychiatry or whatever the fuck to compile a document for him to read. Can you imagine if we did that with every like angry Reddit post? Send it through a psychiatrist? Like, I just can't deal with this, Naomi. Do you have a PhD to even criticize me? Unbelievable. So, the next two clips are from a separate call. These were after he was exposed by all these ladies, and he's talking to Naomi again, and he's apologizing to her. And specifically, he wants to know if Naomi still likes him.
And,
But by the way, I would like to note that his entire tone of voice shifts now in this call. He's very... I don't know. He's a
this is once the news broke. This is once the news broke. This is when he had no option but to confront the emotions he was feeling.
For the first time since his training.
Yeah. And look how much it's hurt him.
He's been holding back for 20 years.
This is 30 years of emotions.
All the badass anime protagonist Chad Air immediately deflated out of him.
And I had to do some things for love and to rekindle something I lost. And now I feel like the whole world is going to be against me, and my whole world's going to be ripped apart.
It continues. Wait for it.
You always been a straight shooter with me. Do you hate me? Does everyone hate me?
I don't hate you, and I don't think everybody hates you. But I think you handled this terribly.
And I'll cut it off there. So bless her heart, she tries to be nice to him because I guess she can sense that he's at the bottom of his wits. Still recording the call, of course. So that call is about 17 minutes. There isn't really anything interesting in it besides being very apologetic while asking Naomi, hey, do you still like me? Can we still hang out? But this clip, my final clip, is where he finally breaks down, you guys, because he can't give up D&D.
Thanks for listening, Naomi. I don't want to take up more of your time.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me know what was going on.
Mm-hmm. We can talk again.
I want to be clear. You said I'd have another chance and that people aren't going to attack me, and I am very grateful for that, but I want you to know that I don't think I deserve it.
Aww.
But I don't want to stop doing D&D.
I mean, at the end of the day, look, I
don't want to stop doing D&D.
I like how that's the first thing he goes to. Like, you can't just accept, like, okay, I kind of fucked up. For a second, it seems like he does, where it's like, I don't really deserve it. But he still isn't like, man, I feel so bad for everything I put these women through or anything. It's just, man, there goes D&D.
Yeah, it
not
shows
my
where
most
his
of the
priorities
call-
are.
Most of
That's
the call
my
was very
issue with it. That's my
boring.
issue with it is like he's not apologetic because of the harm he's done. He's apologetic because it all came to light, and there's a big difference there.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what.
Weird.
The reason I don't feel bad for laughing at a crying man is because I listened to the call, and if you're curious, the call is public. You can find it on Naomi's Twitter. It's a 17-minute call, and the first thing he does is lead in with trying to again guilt trip this woman by saying that his mom is sick. Oh, he's feeling so bad. And are you and I gonna still be talking and role playing in D&D though? Like that's why I don't feel too bad, and I found it very, very funny that D&D is what made him cry there and break out.
I'm surprised he didn't ask to see your character's tits just one last time.
This whole thing is a long con. He's eventually leading into now. Do you think we could move to VR chat?
I need some
There was-
consolation. I
I
want to
need
feel
There
like
was
a
some
man.
really weird. There was some really weird Twitlongers anecdotal stories in the Twitlongers. Like he would make girls dance for him in VR. Like that's what the sexual favors would constitute. Like they would dance in VR for him. There's just a lot of weird stuff there. And when another anecdotal point to this is that when he was found out, like when it all went public, in a way to control damage control or whatever the fucking term is, he kicked all of the women out from all of his professional servers and any servers that he was hosting, so that they couldn't, like he was trying to separate them from, I guess, each other and also like his professional setting.
Well, to be fair,
he
Jackson,
did
that's
move.
like a third of the 17.8%. So that's like roughly what, about like 6.4% that he just saved himself with having to deal with emotionally.
It's like Scott Steiner math, and you take your
Yeah.
33 and the third percent chance of being my friend after D&D, and you
what I was
multiply that by
thinking
the
of.
17. Yeah,
That's exactly what I was thinking of. Yeah. The numbers
He kicked
don't
out
lie.
the women.
I'm still alive. I'm a D&D god. Please.
It's like Alex Jones trying to prove a 9/11 conspiracy. So like Jackson said, he kicked out all the women out of the server. He made it sound as if that was his way of repenting somehow.
Yeah,
And he
well,
also
it
like
wasn't
we said-
repenting. It was damage control. He was just removing them.
Well, yeah, no, of
because
course. I'm saying he made it look like he was repenting, because in the call he says that, oh, I left the server too because I want you guys to feel comfortable without me. And then again, he kicked out all the women and he went back to
why did
edit
he kick
all of
them?
his messages.
Yeah, that's weird. Did he maybe leave after he had kicked them? After like the backlash had really set in? Like maybe he kicked them
could
from the
be.
servers before the backlash happened as a way to try to control damage. But then
Oh,
he left. I
could
don't
be.
know. There was a whole. It's messy. Who
Yeah,
knows?
I also don't know. I don't know the chronology. But yeah, that's the tale of Arcadum, as far as I have. It's if Jackson,
What
you
a
want to add
fucking
any
tale!
details.
Jesus Christ! No,
This is the first time in a long time
what a
we had a
dick.
topic go the entire episode.
That's not true. We just said that last week. Actually, I'm pretty sure.
No, one topic, one single topic,
Yeah.
like one
Yeah.
person.
That was 2 topics. This was very entertaining. I didn't think it would take this long, but hey, well, I guess thank you, Arcadium.
Yeah, it's a wild story. A couple other streamers came forward saying this wasn't even the worst of it. I think
Yeah,
it was
that's what I heard.
I think it was stripping, right? He was like, I've seen some of the more deplorable stuff that they decided to leave out of the Twitlongers, and it's much worse and shit like that. So, I mean, it makes me very curious
Why
what
would
the
you
fuck else would
leave?
happen.
Why would you leave it out at that point?
Because it
I'm a
looks
bit
like they.
confused by
It
that.
seems like almost all of the women that were victims here also still like care about Arcadum to a certain degree, so they don't want to like, I don't know, maybe put him in a situation where it'd be even worse.
I don't think
for him.
they-
I don't really know.
No, I don't think
I
they
don't
care
know.
about him, because if they did, they wouldn't be recording their voice calls secretly. I
True.
think to their credit, I think in some decency, they did not want to drag his girlfriend into it.
That's
Tiffany, I
probably
think her
what it
name
was.
is.
Maybe.
So that is understandable. I think that's very nice of them to do, to not bring up stuff that he's maybe told them about her.
Or maybe just to add another theory in there, maybe it was super embarrassing stuff for them as well. Maybe it was stuff that they just didn't want out
Yeah,
there
maybe.
in that capacity. Who knows? I think they did a great job, providing evidence and really showing what kind of person this guy was behind the scenes.
Coordinating. I mean, I just imagine like 20 women at the same time drop twitlongers about you. That's gotta be devastating. How do you even combat that, even if you tried?
He spawned an entire support group. It seems like a dedicated Arcadum support group.
He did, because one of the girls, or rather women, I don't have the twitlonger anymore, but she did say that he was doing this shit to so many women they wouldn't even fit into a private group on Discord. They had to make a whole new server to fit all the women.
Holy
There's a
shit.
server out there?
Wow.
There is an actual support group server.
Okay, so I just remembered as well. At the start, we said nothing translated into the real world, and I corrected that. But I should clarify right now that event was... So he went to a girl's house, a woman's house, and basically kind of cornered her, I would say, and made physical contact, like hugged her and stuff like that. And she was super uncomfortable. So she left and locked herself in a room away from him, allegedly. And so... that was the one point where it transcended VR and actually made its way into the physical, corporeal dimension that we currently exist in.
Now
it's possible that he's worse. He's possibly worse than just a manipulative piece of shit online. He could also be someone that actually physically abuses people. Who knows?
Now he has, in the past couple of days, I'm checking his Twitter. He's made a response. Is there anything interesting there or anything?
No. It's a pretty standard.
No.
It's pretty deflective.
Okay.
Yeah, I have it open. It's a twitlonger as well, because they all are, and there's nothing of interest. It's a very standard template. I'm sorry for all the people I've hurt. Please show them support. I'm most sorry to my wife, Tiffany, yada yada. It's very standard, nothing interesting.
I've got to pee real bad. Let's wrap.
Alrighty. Thank you everyone for listening to this Arcadum themed episode. Great episode. Thanks for hanging out with us. And we got a patreon.com/official. Fuck that up. Patreon.com/the official podcast. Head on over there to look at bonus episodes and stuff. Sorry, my emotions are getting to me. I need to compose myself.
You're not a soldier, Jackson.
Yeah. Christ. I'm going back to boot camp. See you guys.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.